Welcome to you all to the very first game for the 2021 season of the Heart Sapphire Series netball competition. Pre-season has come and gone. We have a new franchise in the QUT netball, and we welcome back an old friend in the Northern Mendy Rays. Today we're coming to you live from the Townsville Stadium for this great clash between the Northern Mendy Rays and the Brisbane South Wildcats. My name is Dave Mills, and I'm proud to be back with you guys again for the 2021 season. I'm joined in commentary by a gentleman who can be described as the host and creator of a podcast called We Got the Chocolates, Lee Drennan. Lee, have you been schooling up on your netball, my friend?
I have, Dave, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here, I must say. I'm certainly on debut for netball commentary, but very, very excited.
We'll go gentle, mate. We'll get you through it, and you'll have a great time with us here. We're pitches, of course, coming to you live from Townsville through the Double Take Sports people, and we're all good to go. It should be an interesting match. The Wildcats, of course, didn't play last year because of COVID. They couldn't get the travel arrangements, and we were all locked down and stuff.
The Wildcats did, didn't they?
Sorry, did I say the Wildcats? I meant the Townsville side. They couldn't travel, so they weren't in the competition. Yep. Wildcats were the 2019 premiers. The last time these two actually met was way back in August 18 in 2019. Wildcats 63, Rays 25, and the Wildcats currently head-to-head 2-0.
That's a long time ago, though, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Not much to go off.
You've looked at all the lineups. You've had a bit of a watch. Got any predictions for us tonight? It's very hard in the first game of the season.
It is difficult. I mean, it really is. This is where our barometer will be from, really. Game one, that's for sure. But obviously, just on the basis of what you told me and the couple of statistics that you've thrown my way in the head-to-head there, difficult to go past the Wildcats.
Yeah, so the Wildcats are on the court already. The Northern Rays are coming on now. We'll just go through the lineups. And as soon as we can, we'll have them up on the screen for you. We'll start with the Northern Rays. We'll start with goal shooter, and that's Rebecca Round. Chantil Tikatau is the GA. Michaela Kadlicek is the wing attack. Eden Cassidy, the sister of Malia Cassidy, is the centre. Maya Thomas is the WD. Courtney Elliott, the GD, and the goalkeeper is Claudia Philp. For the Wildcat side, Brianna Gregory Johnson is the shooter. Josephine Bingham, she is the goal attack. Wing attack is Jessica Donnelly. Courtney Baird, Brittany Mould is the wing defence and captain. Hallie Geyer is a GD. GK is Hayley Mulherron, the Scottish international, coached by Megan Lynch. And of course, the coach of the Northern Rays is Vicky Wilson. That'll be a big bonus for them.
Absolutely. That is netball royalty, that is for sure. Now, we are only obviously a minute away from the start, or a couple of minutes away from the start of this round one clash. And before we do get underway, we would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this great game is taking place, the Bindal and Wulgurukaba people, and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people watching today.
Thank you for that. We're in readiness. The umpires, I can see one of them is Stuart Ting. I don't know the other one, sorry, the vision's a bit poor. And it looks like the Rays will have the first centre pass through Eden Cassidy, and they get us underway with the ball looking very solid early on. And, hands in there, but an offside call from the wing attack, Jessica Donnelly. Mate, every person I come in here has to make a prediction. What are you calling it, my friend?
Yeah, I'm saying Wildcats too strong. They'll get up here.
Wildcats too strong. I'm going with the homegrown.
Yeah, I like that. It's home court advantage. Exactly. How does that go in netball?
Well, apparently there's a sellout crowd, so there should be a bit of support coming to these guys.
Well, just from that wide angle shot, it looks like there's a couple of sort of corporate sponsors. Got some front row seats that look very impressive there, so could be a real vibe around the court. There's
a lot of corporate support for netball in Townsville, and it's great to have them back in the comp now that the filthy disease has gone away. And a good pressure there from the Rays forces a turnover. It'll be a baseline throw-in.
You've written off the disease pretty early there, I think. Dave, we only had a lockdown a couple of weeks ago. I think it's still a thing. Keep sanitising your hands, everyone.
I'm an optimist, my friend.
Okay, thank you. I'm happy to stick with you there.
Just didn't get a chance to talk about the benches. For the Rays, it's Chloe Cooper, Luca Bellarini, and Jordan Nadino. As I said, Vicky Wilson is the coach, and Kelly Hines is the assistant coach, and Angela Cooper is the other assistant coach. So the Wildcats have got it again. Their bench is Hannah Blackler, Madison Fallon, and Liliana Rennie, and the coach Megan Lynch. She's come down. She was the assistant at Jets. She's now down with the Wildcats, and there's two assistants in Karen Robinson and Gavin Clark, managed by Marin McCulloch.
And Dave, just for those of us that are new to netball,
Yes.
when would you expect those substitutions to start getting into play here?
Well, we play the rolling substitution game here at this competition, so they can come on at any time. We've played 90 seconds basically. We haven't had a goal scored. The ball is with the shooter in Rebecca Round. She turns it over. And nice transition play here for the Wildcats.
Dave, is there an element of sort of...
And our first goal belongs to the Wildcats. Brianna Gregory-Johnson gets it. Sorry, I cut you off there, my
No,
friend.
that's fine. I think the action probably needs to take priority there. Jeez,
Hard hit there.
heavy contact. Is there an element of just blowing some cobwebs out here early in the season, do you think, Dave?
Netball is a connections game, and it'll take a little time for the connections to come through, particularly for the Rays. They train a little differently to most of the franchises.
It's quite interesting, that setup.
They do. They have a bunch of players up in Cairns. I think it's 6 in Cairns, 6 in Townsville. Each of them have got their own coach, and then there's a few that are actually in Brisbane, and they're coaching, ironically, with the Wildcats at the moment, using their facilities. So there's a bit of inside knowledge
have
there.
they come together prior to tonight?
My understanding is it's been 5. So Rebecca Rounds gets the shot away, and that's the first goal for the Rays in quite some time. About 18 months to be exact.
Right, yeah.
So
Straight back in the competition. Great to see.
and we're tied at 1s, and we've got an injury. It looks like there's a change here.
We could get that first substitution involved.
Looks like Kadlasek has gone off for the Rays. She was limping noticeably.
Any idea on who's taken her place?
I want to say Luca Bellerini, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have names on the backs of shirts, which hurts when we're based in Brisbane and they're up in Townsville.
Correct, yeah.
So, ball back through the Wildcats. They shoot here and score. That's Josephine Bingham. Played a couple of games in the Sapphire Series last year for the third placed side from Sunny Coast.
We've seen a turnover here too, straight away.
On a bit of a roll. And
Great hand in there, Dave.
indeed, the ball gets picked up here by the Rays. Great defence being shown by the Wildcats, crowding the ball handler. Going down the right-hand sideline. Very narrow channel there, isn't it?
There's another intercept too.
That was Mulherron, the Scottish international, 104 tests, played in 3 World Cups, 2 Com games.
That's
Great to
a
have her in the
ridiculous
league.
effort.
She's come up from the Tigers she played last year. And the ball falls to the goal attack in Bingham, and she gets another. So three to 1, now 4 to 1 to the side from Wildcats, the Brisbane South team. If they could get it to their shooter, she doesn't miss often. I heard she's very accurate. And very casually, Rebecca Rounds
Right on cue there, Dave.
plops it in.
Backed you up.
No commentator's curse there,
No,
my friend.
It's very important.
So this Wildcat side has lost 9 players from last year's team, including Elisa Maimai, Chanel Gomes, Jemison Power, Danielle Taylor, Nora Misser, Beryl Friday, Bridie Payne is injured, the Pocket Rocket, Lily Cubby, and Halida Veve. They've gone to other clubs or retired or been injured, and so it's a rebuilding year for them. And they're starting well.
Well, they've started strongly, that's
At
for sure.
5-2, and we've played just on 5.5. So
Bit of confusion here.
the ball appears to be with the Rays. It is. And
That's
tried to feed the shooter, but
and
great
keeps it
work
in
there.
too. Straight back to the Rays.
That was Courtney Elliott, the Kiwi. But the Rays get their third. They seem to be settling now, my friend. It looks like they're getting into the work.
Well, you made mention of Rebecca Rounds and just how accurate she can be with her shooting. She has not let you down yet. We'll see another intercept now. So just a little bit of a momentum swing here.
Courtney Elliott picked the ball there, did well. She has it again. And, unfortunately, they throw it away.
Might kick this in, though.
It is, it's still live. The ball with the Wildcats. No, it's a throw-in.
Must have gone now.
So Brittany Mould, the captain, takes it, gets us underway. Ooh, slight contact there from the substitute. Offside by the Wildcats, missed by the umpire. It falls back to the Rays. I always say the ball knows. So
That's right. That would do.
And of course, you can join us if you want to drop us a comment or something like that. By all means, do on our Facebook page. We have lots of socials. The Heart Sapphire Series is the Facebook page. Sapphire Series Netball is the Instagram. But by all means, drop us a line, and we will endeavour to acknowledge it. The ball's still with the Rays, being very patient in offence here.
You've got to go hats off to both teams' defence as well, to be fair. I've seen a lot of intercepts, a lot of turnovers over here. Just some great hustling defence, making sure that every pass has been under a huge amount of pressure.
Indeed, and the Rays have had a chance to make the margin even closer.
What have we got there, Dave?
It's a contact call there, 5-3. The ball falls to Gregory Johnson, and she scores. So, centre pass Rays. 7:15 to play. That was a Mizuno momentum shift. You'll see that. They're back again. One of our major sponsors, along with Hart, Legacy Jewelers, Mount Franklin, Powerade, Bondi Vite, and Strap It. Another goal there to Rounds. Makes the margin back to 3. So
all 4 Northern Rays goals coming through Rounds to start with here.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if there's the goal that gets involved. Like, there's a great effort here from Rounds. Is such a great target. She's a great shooter. She's a former Jets player. Did a knee. You can see it's heavily strapped. She's coming back from that injury, and we've been told that the substitute player is actually Jordan Nadino. So she's on, which is great. So we can't. She's in the background there walking. She's had her right knee strapped. You can see in the top of the picture there.
Top of the picture there.
So
looks reasonably hampered by that, to be fair.
Yeah, she is limping noticeably. Oh, great intercept there. That is Geyer, Hallie Geyer.
That's a nice pass.
Fast transition. Missed shot there. Bingham, she's usually fairly accurate. Missed one there. So transition time for the Rays. Have you played much netball yourself, my friend?
I have actually played, well, you wouldn't, at a very social level.
That's where it all starts.
Yeah, wonderful distributor out of the centre, I've been told. Not by many people, but I'm sure one person said that at some point. I've been known to carve up actually quite a few of the teacher-student games.
Big shout out to Mrs. Drennan. That's Lee's mum.
Mum. Yeah. Thanks, Mum. Thanks for watching.
So nice play here from Tiki Tau. And passes off sensibly to Rounds under the ring. Makes no mistake. Margin back to 3. We've got 5 to play in the first. It's been a pretty good start by the Rays.
Certainly well within striking distance.
So the ball back with the Wildcats. Get us underway through their centre. Fast pace, hand in.
That was absolute cannon of a pass.
Great pass. And unfortunately, there's just a slight contact there. Gives Gregory Johnson the chance to shoot again, and she does. And don't like to give away trade secrets, but the Jets assistant coach is watching, so getting some tips because they'll be playing both these teams later in the season. Oh, a fall there. That's Cassidy. Goes down hard. We've got a timeout. We're going to get the sponges out.
Yeah. I mean, fair. That was a heavy fall.
Seemed to trip over the white line herself there. No one around her.
No, absolutely. It's probably very well grounded if it was a rugby league game.
Try time.
Yeah,
so don't forget, this is our first of 4 games that we're doing this weekend. 1 tonight, 3 tomorrow. We're up at the Morayfield Sports and Events Centre. Tickets still available. Get yourself courtside. Get your backside courtside for that one.
Oh,
and we go
get one on a shirt for us.
135
marketing campaign.
It's on a coffee mug, mate.
Oh, right.
135, and we'll be there tomorrow and bringing you all the action. So ball out on the side again, and it falls to Wildcats. Penalty pass. And great work there by the keeper. That's Claudia Philp. Gets a hand over the top, no contact. Well, that was an impressive defensive display there.
It's been impressive entire quarter, really.
They're certainly paying attention to Eden Cassidy. She's copping a lot of treatment at the moment. She nearly took a tumble again there. And we have instant replay this year again, which is fantastic.
Sure.
So, and there it is, that great intercept, hand over the top.
Back life now.
Back life with the raise. And Rounds can't get in position. Ball falls short. Mulholland gets us away, throws long. Great patience being shown.
That's the first
here.
shot we've seen from the goal attack, wasn't it, for the Northern Rays?
She's been passing off to Rounds regularly.
Yeah.
And another shot there. Gregory Johnson gets them to 10, double figures for the Wildcats. 2:40 to play, and they lead by 5. It's been a good first quarter by them. So,
stepping.
Beck Rounds is, we called her as a former Jets player, which is the information we have. She's actually never played for the Jets. She's been with the Lions, and in 2020 played with the WDNA, which is in the Jets catchment pool.
Yep.
But played just QPL for the Western Districts. Thank you to our listeners for correcting us there.
That's wonderful. Wonderful to have that input.
Absolutely. You don't want to make a mistake here. They will pick you up on it.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
Well, I mean, it's the quickest way to fix your mistakes.
Absolutely.
Be made aware of them.
We get quite a passionate audience, and we thank you for it. So, ball back with the Rays now, 11-5. And a long pass, beautifully brought in there by Cassidy, and finds Rounds, but they've got it for a replay. For those new to netball replay, if you've got possession, lose possession, and regain possession, that's the best way of describing it.
So she's almost passed that to herself, really, accidentally.
Pretty much that's what they've ruled, yes.
Yeah.
So once you've got possession, you can't just sort of drop it, pick it up again, that sort of stuff. Can't bounce it like a basketball.
Yeah.
So nice play here, great interplay between the centre and the goal attack. That's Baird and Bingham. They just brought the ball down the court beautifully for the goal, and 12-5. That's it was 8-5, so that's 4 straight to the Wildcats. This is their opportunity, over a third throw-in. Must score here coming into the quarter-time break.
Yeah. Better flow down the court here.
Hands over there. Brittany Mole put a lot of pressure on that.
Just copped a deflection on the way through and cleaned up by the Wildcats very effectively.
So, that's Baird, takes a tumble.
What the centres for both teams are just
going hard.
Tough, yeah.
Short shot there, gets her own rebound, which is all you can ask from a shooter. Misses a second one, she probably should have got that one, and gets the rebound again, but I think she was off court, as called by umpire Ting. And we get an obstruction call, advancing the ball for the Rays. They need a goal before the quarter, 21 seconds left.
Just at which stage does it start to get panicky, do you think, with a lead there? Dave, what's some of the greatest comebacks you've seen in netballing history? How many goals can you run down?
Well, I've done a bit of coaching in my time, and I run by the rule of 11. So you're for 11 down with 11 to go. It's very difficult. Okay. So you've got to be within the 11 with 11 minutes to go in the match. That's my science of netball.
Something you made up?
Yeah,
have you stolen it from someone else?
It's on a coffee cup as well.
Yeah, you paid it.
There's a whole range of coffee cups. So the ball to Rebecca Rounds.
At your house, it'd be a motivational quote.
Indeed it would. And she gets the 6th just before the quarter-time break, and that is another Mizuno momentum shift, and boy, they needed that one to raise. They were at 8-5, and then the Wildcats got it out to 13, and now the quarter-time score of 13-6. What did you think of your first quarter of netball?
I was very impressed. It's great. It's a fast move, fast-paced game, that's for sure. It's far more impressive defensively than other games in netball that I've probably watched, where it seems quite end-to-end, quite free-flowing and quite high-scoring. There was a lot of turnovers there, and it's been great to see the amount of pressure that all attacking teams have been under there. Obviously, Wildcats, you would think, go into the break reasonably happy with their start.
Absolutely.
All the roads with a bit of work to do.
Well, the Wildcats are obviously more experienced. They've got some quality players. Like Courtney Baird won the comp last year with the Cougars, so she gives them a lot of leadership. Brittany Moulds in her 9th season. And, of course, when you've got a Scottish international in Hayley Mulherron, who's played 104 Test match, 3 World Cups, you can't you can't beat that. Josephine Bingham, of course, played a few games for the Sunny Coast side last Thunder. So they've got a lot of experience. This is the Rays' first game back in a number of years, and they held themselves well early on. A few turnovers there. It sort of was costly for them, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you nailed it there. You talked quite a bit about the Wildcats sort of outs and the players that they've lost. So they have got a few ins as well.
They do indeed. There's a list of them too. Brianna Gregory, she's from Victoria. She's come in. Hayley Guy was a bull shark in their junior program. Jessica Donnelly, Josephine Bingham, as I said, from the Thunder. Baird, who's already won a tournament there's only been 2 and she's won one of them. Leanne Rennie and Madison Foley and Hayley Mulherron. So they brought a lot of. It's a new team, new coach, new everything. Basically, the team got broken down, and this is what they've come. And I spoke to the coach this morning, Megan, and she was saying how it's a rebuilding year for them, and they're all very, very keen to develop again. So they won the championship in 2019. Last year they were thereabouts. Ended up finishing 4th, got knocked out in the first semis, and now they've got a new team and they're just going again and start again, and it looks like it's working so far.
Absolutely, it's been a great start. In terms of the player movement, that I sort of look at that and go, that seems like quite a bit of movement on both the ins and outs. Is that fairly common across this competition? Obviously, we've gone from 6 teams last year to 8 teams.
That's what I was going to say, because the QUT team, they brought, obviously they've come in as a franchise, a very attractive franchise, great coach Paula Stewart, great program there with Hillary Collins is the Ruby coach. Speaking of great coaches, there's the great Vicky Wilson there on the sideline having a chat. So Vicky Wilson, AOM, I believe, is that right? Is that how you say it? Or OMA?
One of those.
Yeah, and she's obviously she's been doing a lot of work with the shooters, given she was one of the world's best shooters. Yeah. And it's a good program they've got up there. They've got Vicky in there. 2 coaches under her working through it, and so
it's
the future is good for them.
That Vicky Wilson has, isn't it? Sunshine Coast Lightning coaching staff at the moment.
Indeed, she's done some international work too, hasn't she?
Fiji.
Yeah, she was with the Fiji team,
and as you've already mentioned, 104 national caps, 3 times world championship titles with the Diamonds and a Commonwealth gold as well. It's a fair resume.
It's quite a cupboard of trophies. So we've got a stepping call here on the Wildcats. I haven't noticed any changes. We're a little bit at loss because we're in the bunker here at Cooperoo and Brizzy, and they're up in Townsville.
From an officiating point of view, what call are you saying is the hardest to pick up for an umpire?
The hardest to pick up is, in my opinion, and I'm a coach, so I've had some run-ins with umpires over the years.
I struggle to believe that.
Clearly don't know me. I believe the obstruction call is the hardest because everyone has a different 3 feet or 0.9 of a metre for the metric. But so some umpires just like a big 3 feet, others don't mind a smaller 3 feet, which is all we ask for as coaches and players. Consistency.
That's what you want.
That's it. That's all it is.
And I imagine it can be different even like in the same game between one end and the other end as well as to what you...
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a common saying through coaches. You say, well, that's the scoring end.
The scoring end.
You know what I mean? Like contacts can be sort of different interpretations for different umpires, and that's just in a way that's the beautiful thing about the game is that there's so many variables, and that's if it was all mechanical, it was all methodical, and it was all exactly the same, it'd be pretty boring to watch.
Absolutely.
So Wildcats have got away well.
Thoughts on Josephine Bingham here to start? She's been sinking them from reasonably deep in the D as well, like not just sort of under the hoop.
Yeah, she's a quality shooter. She got to shoot with her sister a couple of times last year with the Thunder. They have some great shooters up there, in Annabelle Laurie and can't remember the other one, but Binion Hunt. So she was sort of like their 4th shooter, and has done a great job when she came on a couple of times there when the girls were playing up in the Suncorp Super Netball. So she got a few opportunities last year, didn't disappoint, and that team rallied home in this last part of the season. Just got pipped in the prelim final by 3, and they would have been in the GF. So
the reason for my umpiring question too, I did have a follow up to that actually, Dave. In that is the.
I feel like I'm being interviewed.
Yeah, well, sorry about
this
that.
Is a test.
Podcast background. In my umpiring in school netball, that's the thing that I cop the most abuse about would be the stepping. I just struggle to pick it up. Can't get it. I end up sort of handing over the reins usually to one of the Year 8 students.
So
That's
encouraging.
Umpire yourselves.
So the ball with the Wildcats. So you're a teacher, I gather, from that conversation.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And hands in there. It's no back outside. So copying a bit of criticism on the old Facebook too. David, you arguing with umpires? Never.
Someone that you've coached?
Someone who does know me clearly.
Someone that knows it. Here we go, we're on a break here.
Fast play here from the Rays. They get the ball through their midcourt now. And this breaks down a little bit. Looks like the strappings, looks like there might have been a change for the, I think, Nadidu has gone off. And I think we've gone back to, is that Michaela Cadlis-Sek at the wing attack? I think it is, yes. She's got the knee strapped. So that was the player that was injured.
She went off in the first quarter, spent the rest of the quarter off.
Yeah. It'd be good if the Rays could get some names on their
I'd
shirts.
love that.
Dresses, that'd be fantastic. If we're going to continue with us down here.
Potentially a sponsor coming on board there to get that paid for.
So the ball falls back with the Wildcats. Margin at quarter time was 7, still 7, so
It had to be precision perfect, that pass.
Courtney Baird did well under the attention. And nice play there on the outside of the circle. Stepping back, can't get the shot. And the ball
step back
falls.
technique there, Dave. That doesn't look the easiest to master. Obviously trying to give yourself more room.
That's exactly right, and it's because you can't step in netball, so when you step back, you invariably, you have to go back onto just 1 foot, so you really need your balance to be, very accurate, and some people can't quite get that balance right. That throws the mechanics of the hips out, and then the arm goes out, and then consequently the shot usually falls to the left or the right, or a little bit short. So,
obviously not something that you see commonly.
surprisingly, in the men's game, you see it a lot,
Really?
because the keepers are so tall, so like 3 feet or 0.9 metre for the men is an arm's length, so you see a lot of guys stepping back in that realm of netball. So another shot there,
Rounds is on again.
and gets the margin back to 6. It's their centre next to the Rays. They're having a little bit of a run here. This will be 3 straight to them if they score this.
This is where you want to go really back to back, isn't it? The consecutive, when you're able to score one and then also get to start with that centre pass as well. On the back of it gives you a great opportunity to close the gap.
It does indeed, and that's exactly what they do through the goal attack. A lovely shot there, and the team is fighting back. We're down to a margin of 5. It was 7 at quarter time.
Well within that 11.
That's only relevant in the last quarter, my friend. So
Still, keep it in check. Keep it in check early.
you're going to hang me on that.
I love it. That's my first learning.
Plenty more lessons to come, my son.
Absolutely.
Wax on, wax off. So the ball back with the Rays on their centre pass.
Who's that heavily strapped right knee?
Clearly
Right now,
being
though.
hammered. Big lob into round. She can't pull it in, and the call is it's come off her. Controversial.
It's
I
not the
thought
way that
maybe
I
the goal
saw
defender.
it, to be honest.
Stewie Ting's there. We're about 1,800 kilometres away. So
Yeah.
we'll have to go with Stewart on that
Yeah,
one.
that's true. He's probably got a better vantage point.
One of the best men's netball umpires as well. So ball back with the Wildcats. Ray's working hard. Nearly picked it off there.
So the infringing player is obviously quick to stand aside before the restart there.
You have to stand to the side and away, so to speak. That's the ruling. You can't talk. And I've got an injury here.
Have an injury.
Donnelly, very ginger on that. She struggled to get up, limping to the position to take the penalty pass. She looks to the bench.
That's from long range, that.
Nice shot there. Marching back to 7. We've got 8:20 to play in the second quarter. This the first of 4 that we're bringing to you this weekend. And at half time, we've got some exciting news about the match of the round, which you're going to bring to the viewers.
Am I?
You are.
Perfect.
So we've got
Looking
that
forward
sheet
to
there
that.
you can read out.
Yeah, thanks. I'm not. Better find that before half time.
So the ball falls. Rounds can't pull it in. It's back through the Wildcats.
What's the call here?
I think it was a contact call. She was out of play.
So you can't just wrestle the ball off.
That's a little bit frowned upon.
Yep.
Um,
One-on-one rake.
Yeah, but intent to the ball is the big thing. If you're there first, the umpires tend to give it to you. So, spectacular intercept there.
Yeah,
Keeps it
kept
in
it.
brilliantly. That's Claudia Philp. Brilliant work from her. there's the replay from the Double Take Sports crew. Brilliant work. So
Really rate that ability to throw the ball back inside the court on your way out as well. As
Rounds.
quite on the same page there. But it looks
Yeah, the wing attack through to the space, and Rounds just couldn't get it in. And Mulholland, bit of showtime from Mulholland. Threw it. It has to be touched by a player or the post, and so she threw it off the post and was able to pick it up straight away. It looks good when it works. Looks silly when you get the angle wrong and it goes straight back out. Yeah. Coaches love that. And huge rebound there. So Elliott rips it in, steps on, and then acts, because she stepped on, body mechanics was in the wrong way, and she ended up throwing it away to no one. So back with the Wildcats.
Seems to be, just from an outsider's point of view, Dave, a whole lot of sort of throwing it to where you want the player to be, essentially, almost like that leading concept.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if you have a football background, but, you know, when you pass the ball, you tend not to throw to the hands. You throw just in forward of the hands. And
throw to where they're going to be.
And if you're the Broncos, you throw half a metre in front of the player. There's an hour and a half chat there. Get me on your podcast, I'll tell you what's wrong. So the ball out with the Rays, very close to the sideline. And bring it down, the goal attack's got it. Tikitau shoots and scores, nothing but net. That was a great shot from her.
That looked good, didn't it?
Marching back to 7, that's what it was at quarter time. That's a Mizuno momentum shift.
Good pair of shoes, the Mizunos.
They are indeed, and they're one of our sponsors along with Heart Sport.
I actually bought a pair of Mizunos in 2011. I still have them today.
That's more a reflection of you not doing sport as opposed to
certainly not running enough.
So looks like we've got a timeout. For the viewers at home, you get one timeout per half here, and it's being called by, we thought, the Wildcats, but something's happened.
Well, we're not called it now.
And
straight back on, if that's the quickest timeout I've ever seen.
Yeah, we're not sure what happened there. We've got a substitution. Looks like someone's come off for the Wildcats. I think Mulholland might have gone to the bench. Can't pick it up on the camera. We will as soon as we can. And Wildcats lead by 7, 5:30 to play. They shoot and score here through Bingham. She's been very impressive.
Hasn't looked unlikely at any stage. She's stepped up to have a shot.
She's enjoyed her transition from the Sunny Coast team Thunder to the Wildcats in Brisbane South.
People have all sort of different reasons for leaving as well, just for transitioning. And
well, I'd imagine Townsville's a big university town, so there might be a study reason. She's young, or it could be like Defence Forces are up there. I don't know for sure. She might have just wanted to change the scenery. Yeah, she might have moved for love. You know, sometimes you move for love.
That's right.
So who knows? But we'll find out more as the season goes on.
There.
Big pardon?
Just from experience there. Love story you want to tell us?
How long have you got?
Probably the wrong time.
Got some interesting stories.
Time and place.
Yeah. So Round shoots again, misses the first, gets their own rebound and gets the second. And is there a timeout this time? I hear the whistle. Timeout Wildcats this time. I'd say it was called incorrectly.
So that's what you're saying happened there?
Yeah, I'd say so. There's a.
How do you get it incorrect?
I'm not sure. Maybe you have to call it when the play's out. But we'll try and listen in. I think we're going to try and listen. No, we're not listening in tonight. We haven't got sound, but we
do have some sound.
Don't forget at half-time, not only are we announcing the Match of the Day thing, we'll be talking to a couple of special guests that are in the crowd.
That is exciting.
A couple of Firebirds. We'll keep you in suspense. We won't tell you who just yet.
Oh, we heard.
Go on, tell me.
Do you want to keep it?
No, tell them.
Okay, we'll be with Kimberly Jenner and Tipper Dwan.
Wow. So we've got some questions for them, and hopefully it all comes off. Fingers crossed here. Our first live cross of the season.
I'm only new to this, but that seems like a lot of technology we're relying on.
So if you're a coach, which you coach junior netball,
I have, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Absolutely.
You know, you're the Wildcats. You're pretty happy with the situation, yeah? What are you saying to yourself?
Yeah, I would think so. I was actually going to ask you the same thing, more for my development as a coach. What would be the reasoning for using a timeout in this situation, especially if your other Wildcats just six goals up, 6-goal lead?
Oh, to be honest, I would do it purely for fitness reasons. They're probably not game fit.
Yeah.
I don't know how many preseason games they've played, but they get one time out of half. I'd be using them in the second and fourth quarters, regardless of the condition of the game, because this is round one.
So would you expect Northern Races to use it? They still have one to use in this
They've still one to use in the first half, so Vicky can call that at any time. Vicky's calling the shots today with the two assistants. Don't forget, this is the first of 3. Tomorrow we've got the Jets and the Bull Sharks, Tigers and Thunder, and the big one, match of the round, QT Netball and the Cougars. It's the Premiers versus the new franchise.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that debut game, the QT franchise.
Let's just say they've recruited well.
You're expecting
They're
that
very
to be strong, aren't you?
I think it could almost be a grand final preview. Jets and the Sunny Coast side will have a bit to say about that. But, yeah, that wouldn't surprise me if those two played in the grand final later in the year.
Jets in the grand final last year.
They were. They are a very good side. They had a great season, had one bad quarter in the grand final, and that was it. The rest of the season was pretty special. So just one quarter. They lost a quarter by 17 in the second quarter last year, and
That's a huge quarter.
And they lost the match by 17. So, yeah, unfortunately. But
we just saw Rebecca Brown's goal again there too.
She's definitely the go-to person
Not going to go back to back
for the Rays.
Oh, are they?
They are a little bit of an offside. Maybe a contact there from Baird. We'll see shortly. No, yes, Baird's out of play. No, inside the circle.
Okay.
So using the triangle offense there.
I'll tell you what I've seen a lot of, Dave, that I didn't expect with it. These really low bounce passes, almost rolling at lawn bowling them along the ground here.
Yeah, you're not allowed to roll, but you can do a pretty loose,
yeah,
so as long as it gets off that ground a little bit.
Just a small lob.
So it's an interesting tactic. Like if I was coaching, Rounds is high in the circle. She's coming out towards the top of the circle a lot, which facilitates the bounce pass. But probably with her ability to hold defenders off, I'd be having her deeper in the circle so that she can have that backspace. And you can see, like, there's in that earlier in this quarter when there's that, you said the loose pass,
yeah,
they weren't on the same page. That's what it was. Like, Rounds was holding to the top, but the feeder thought she'd be going to the backspace.
So you want to go more towards it as a coach from the coaching
absolutely, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And the ball still with the Wildcats. They score again. Margin's 5 now, 19-14. The Rays doing a great job. They've chipped away at this. It's been a great quarter for them. 13-6 quarter time score. Commentator's curse there, brother.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, welcome to the club. So, and a step call here, and the ball goes back with the Rays. A few little errors.
Stepping call on there?
The centre, I believe.
Is it the centre still? Just thought he was pointing somewhere else.
He points everywhere. He's got the shooter for a contact there, so a bit of turnover ball at the moment. Ping pong netball going from end to end. No goals scored for a bit. Loose hands there, but done well. Cassidy fires it in. See, threw that from her hip. Made it very difficult for the shooter to pull that in.
And that's obviously just come out off a Northern Rays play. Oh, and there we go. We see another example of that.
Threw that to absolutely no one.
It's the early season.
So
the early season comms just...
There's going to be some yips.
Yeah.
So. And the ball is with the Rays. They've got a throw in here through Philp.
Good hands there.
If you're watching in Townsville and they make some replacements, please let us know who's coming on.
Can't see a thing here.
Because we don't have the names on shirts, so it makes it a little bit difficult, and we don't know the team because it's their first week in the comp.
So is that a better example there?
It's like she's listening to me.
Where
That's
you want
exactly what I wanted to happen. Hold the backspace, ball comes in, nice lob in, margin back to 4. So they're winning the quarter by 3. For those of you who don't know, the quarters, you get 2 points for every quarter that you win in this competition, and you get 10 for the win. So to win a quarter is a big thing, and it's a really big thing for the Rays because they, in their 2019 season, never won a quarter. So this will be their first quarter in the history of their competition if they win this. That's according to their coach. Okay. So she told me that this morning. So, great intercept there from the centre. Cassidy, Baird pulled that in. You can see why she was with the Cougars last year. And the shot there to Bingham.
Into the last 30 seconds of this first half too. So obviously that timeout probably not looking like being utilised by the Northern Rays.
You can't save it. You can't have 2 in the second half. So once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, so they just haven't felt the need. I guess they've had a little bit of momentum here.
Yeah, true. Coach Wilson not wanting to do that. Well, the curse has hit me. We're not going with the Firebirds after all.
No Firebirds.
No Firebird chat today, but we believe Kimberly Jenner and
they were happy
Tipper is there. They're there. They're doing
some
coaching clinics up in the northern regions, so they wanted to talk to us, but we've got a technical issue that means they can't. So, or maybe they're in the corporate box. So
they could be. That's off the one leg there.
Missed shot, but Rounds gets it and passes off unselfishly, but time's up. But the goal is scored.
Does that count, though?
It does, because we're not on the... they've obviously... They they time from our clock is not indicative of the official time. That's done from the scorer's bench. So if we don't stop it exactly when the timeout, then we might be out slightly.
Perfect.
So
we might be out by a bit because
we're inside the last minute, I'd say.
Yeah.
So bodies going everywhere, and the feed there from Baird. Beautiful to watch. Margin is back to 5, so the quarter belongs to the Rays at the moment by 2. They'll be waiting for the whistle, and we've got a break, which is what we call a coach killer, my friend.
So that's where they've broken prior to the whistle.
They've landed in the centre third prior to the whistle being blown.
Yep.
And there's the whistle that goes. That won't count even if it goes in, which it didn't. So, this is exciting times for the Rays. They've won that quarter by 2.
So just to explain that again, they get that'll be competition points that they've accumulated there.
So if we looked at a live ladder right now,
yep.
Wildcats will be on 2 points, Rays will be on 2 points.
As well.
So
even though they're fighting themselves obviously 5 points down at halftime.
That's it.
They've won that quarter.
That's exactly correct, my friend. So they won that quarter by a 2. Which has been a great effort for them, and my understanding, and I stand to be corrected, that is the first quarter they've won since the inception of this competition, so that's a fantastic effort by them.
Now there's definitely a viewer who is happy to help, I think.
Excellent. We'll come back to that shortly. We've got to go to a commercial, we've got to pay for this coverage.
Sorry.
We'll be back shortly.
Running shoes or generic trainers don't provide the grip and support for the quick, dynamic movements needed in a game. It's time to make the swap with Mizuno.
Welcome back to the Hearts Alpha Series 2021 Game 1, coming to you live from Townsville Stadium. It's round 1. It's Northern Mendy Rays taking on the Brisbane South Wildcats. And after a very encouraging first half, we see a scoreline of Wildcats 21, Northern Rays 16. It's been an impressive first half by both sides. A little bit of rust, but you can tell that's just the first game of the season. As I said, this is the first of 4 games we're doing tomorrow. We're doing the Jets versus Bull Sharks from Moray Field Sports and Event Centre. That's from 1 p.m. We'll be on air just before 1. We're doing Tigers and Thunder at 3. And then we're doing a thing called Match of the Round, which is the QT Netball, the new franchise coming into the competition, and the premiers from last year, the Cougars, they're from 5. And we're doing it slightly differently for the Match of the Round. My name's Dave Mills. I'm joined by none other than We Got Chocolates podcast creator and compere, Lee Drennan. Lee, you've got some exciting news about Match of the Round from now on.
I do, absolutely. In some exciting news, for the Hearts Sapphire Series, we've officially signed a deal with News Corp to live stream a Match of the Round via the Courier Mail's increasingly increasingly popular streaming platform. So to watch this match of the round live, viewers will need to hold a paid subscription for the Courier Mail's platform, with deals commencing at just $5 per month for a minimum of 3 months, also allowing full access to the Courier Mail's online premium news platform, which is handy. This match will be released on delayed telecast to our YouTube channel and website 72 hours later.
Excellent work, and of course you can join us on all the socials, the Heart Sapphire Series socials. Facebook is the Heart Sapphire Series, the Instagram is Sapphire Series Netball, the web address is sapphireseries.com.au. That's for all the news, views and interviews.
Yeah.
And of course, as you mentioned, we have a YouTube channel, just simply Sapphire Series. So there's no excuse for not getting in touch with us, is there?
Absolutely not. You've got plenty of avenues there. In fact, the website, special shout out to that website. That is very well set up. Gave us some great intel prior to.
You did your schooling before we got here?
That was me. That's where I downloaded all of my knowledge.
Excellent work. So
straight from there.
So we're in the halftime break. The Heart Sapphire Series, of course, we're sponsored by Heart. We thank them for their continued support. It's the third year they've been with us. Legasic Jewelers, Mizuno, that's Mizuno Momentum Shift. They got great shoes. You wear a pair, I believe.
I do.
Mount Franklin, our beverage provider. Powerade is our sports drink supplier. Bondi Vite, they're their vitamin supplier. And Strap It, who are our strapping people. And of course, all the pitches being brought to you today by Double Take Sports. And I'm back with Gina. Second year I've worked with her. She's sensational. And we're welcome that we're still with her. And that's Chloe, you can see on screen now. She's bringing the pictures, and it booms up to the satellite and down to us, and we bring it to you as best we can.
Actually looking forward to one of those official beverage partners at the Mount Franklin's post-game here, Dave.
Bit thirsty over
tiring work.
Yes,
tiring work getting on the tools here.
You're dropping a few hints and we're not getting any water, but that's okay.
Yeah, nothing. No movement. No movement in the background here.
I used to do this for the men's, and I thought if I promote Pepsi through the entire competition, surely Pepsi would come to the party.
No,
alas, they did not.
No deal. You got a few coffee mugs out of it though.
Well, you know, I can engrave it myself. So the ball back with the Rays. They get us underway. It's 21-16. We started the third quarter.
Now, do we have a couple of changes?
Well, Tash Robinson, who's been kind enough to send us, and she said that the lineups we had have changed. Bella Rennie is the goal attack for the Northern Rays, and Jordan Nadidu has gone to a centre. So, and Chloe Cooper has replaced Claudia Philp. I'm not sure if that's still the case. I apologise, we don't have the names on shirts, so we're flying a little bit blind. So if Tash, if you're watching and if there's been any other changes, please let us know. For the Wildcats, they look like they were going to make some changes, and thankfully they've got names on shirts, so we'll be able to pick them up as the quarter goes on. That's over a third. Yeah. Her grounded foot was in the goal third. If that had landed, if she had a grounded foot in the mid-third, it wouldn't have been, but great pick up there by the two umpires. So, ball back with the Wildcats, margin 5. It's been a great effort by the Rays.
No change to the halftime score yet either, though.
Not at this stage. Wildcats looking sharp. And
she's very impressive.
Great shot there. I think that's Bingham.
Here's Bingham again.
And the Mount Franklin water has arrived.
Great news.
So
thank you.
That's
there's one between us. COVID safe.
So I'm sure there'll be 2 straws. So
seriously rationing it out here.
Yeah, we're on a budget, brother. And the ball back with the Rays, with the throw-in from the side. It's in the goal third. So, and looking to feed round. She sets up beautifully, and the pass. That is nice play. That is just solid netball. They set it up well. They used the triangle offense when it came into round. She kicked it back out to the wing attack in the corner and got straight back for the easy shot.
So that's what you mean by triangle offense. I've heard you say that a couple of times now.
Yeah, made famous in basketball of all things. Phil Jackson with the teams.
Remember that from watching.
From the series that was on Netflix. Yeah. Exactly, you know. And when he went to the Lakers, Kobe loved it and Shaq hated it, and you know. But it's basically what you saw there. Obviously in basketball it's a bit more advanced, but in netball, because bodies are stationary a lot of the time. It's a great offensive weapon, and pretty much every coach teaches it from a very early age. Ball with rounds again. She shoots and scores again. Margin back to 5. They keep hanging around the Rays. They've scored 2 straight here, 23-18. And this would be 3 in a row for them.
And Dave, this could be a little bit of a silly question, but just in terms of
loose feed there.
Yeah,
Mulheron was all over that.
Defensive player. Goalkeeper, goal defence sort of thing, in terms of if you have your feet stationed 3 feet away, whatever the umpire deems that to be, your hands can be wherever you like, essentially. Just your feet have to stay that distance away.
That is correct. So your arms can be over the ball. They have to be stationary. You can't sort of, be swiping them and all that. There's a little bit of movement, but you can follow the ball, but you can't be, waving your arms in front of the face. That's obstruction. But so long as you're 3 feet away, if you're good enough and big enough and tall enough and strong enough to get your arms over, that's brilliant defense. Hence, that's when you might see that step back shot that you were asking me about in the first quarter.
Right.
So
now we just saw Bingham miss a shot for the first time that I've seen, but it was rebounded very nicely and still scored a goal for the Wildcats, out to a 6-goal lead now.
They are indeed. And, crunch there. Grimace on the face of the centre, wing defence, which I believe is Maya Thomas. She's had her work cut out. She's been on bed. And Jess Donnelly, she's worked hard. And another goal there. They're on a bit of a run here. The Wildcats get the margin back out to 7. Biggest lead of the match has been 7, and they're back near in the third quarter, the championship quarter. Do you believe in that theory, my friend?
They use that in AFL as well, actually, the premiership quarter, I think that they call it, where the game's won and lost. I feel like you have to be quite good for most of the quarters to win games, but what would I know?
And that was a brilliant play there. I believe that is Bella Rini has come on at goal attack. That's according to our friend Tash Robinson. So the goal attack has changed, and the ball back with the Wildcats. Looks like Thomas is on the floor again. She's thrown a body into her work today. And a solid goal there to the Wildcats. Keep that margin at 7. It's going to be a close one. If the Rays could get a couple back and go into 3/4 time close.
Completely unguarded, dude.
We call that the Macaulay Culkin, the Home Alone. I know. Sue Gordian. That's not me, that's Sue Gordian.
I'm happy
famous
with
commentator. So, contact on the... No, play on, says the umpire. Obviously deemed that fair contest.
So this will be a Northern Rays ball.
It is indeed. They get the throw in and away they go. And nearly a short pass, but they get it through the mid now. They need to score here. This will get the margin back to 5. They're looking for round. She's not there. She wants it, kicking it back out. She was setting herself up for the triangle there, directing it exactly how we were talking about before. And double teaming. They're double teaming. The goal attack has to get in there to take one off. Here? Possession call has gone to the way of the Wildcats. So Baird ripped that one in. Umpire deemed she had it first, but not enough for a contact call. So that's a possession call there. Shame the Wildcats could have got it back to... the Rays could have got it back to 5.
It's a stepping call now, though.
Indeed. And away they go. The Rays again. They must score here. Bit of scoreboard pressure, bit of nervousness in the Wildcats.
Yeah. It's another thing that I've picked up here too, which is probably very basic in elementary, but just for anyone that is learning the game, there's obviously like a variety of passes that you use. It's a bounce pass, but even between throwing it with 2 hands and then there's seen some absolute cannons that have been thrown with the one hand to seemingly when you're going sort of that long distance range pass.
Absolutely, you're 100% correct. And depending where or how far you want to throw it and where you are on the court depends a lot of the time on what sort of pass you wouldn't throw a bounce pass like a low one mid-court, for example, but you would do it feeding the circle.
Yeah.
If you look at a lot of the elite play, and by that I mean the Suncorp Super Netball, clash of bodies there, or test matches, most of the international teams go short, long, so they go short pass, and the third pass will be a cannon, quite a long pass, to clear the defensive pressure that's been put over. So ball gets thrown in, and again we've got another obstruction call here, so the ball's still with the Rays. Can't quite get this margin back to 5. This is their 4th go at doing it.
What's the score for this quarter?
You're asking me the hard questions.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It is 5-4 in favour of the Wildcats.
Okay.
But how quick was I on that, eh?
Yeah, very impressive.
So, back with the Rays. Bellerin shoots, doesn't get it, and Mulherron blocked out beautifully. Rounds had no chance of getting the rebound, but a loose pass from Mulherron gets intercepted. Oh, I thought that might have gone towards Guy rather than against her.
No.
But the ball knows and it goes out. So, you can write that one down too.
Yeah, that's the ball knows.
The ball knows.
Heard that a few times.
Yeah. And
so it always evens up.
And be the ball.
Be the ball
that's
too.
That's a thinker.
That's
that
one of the great. Yeah,
it's a thinker.
One of the great coaching philosophies. That one it helps a lot.
Indeed,
very
it
clear
does.
cut.
Yes, indeed it does. Mulherron gets collected there by the goal attack, and she gets it away again. A little bit scrappy at the moment. Where it's 5-4, and there's another turnover. So
Stuart Ting is the umpire.
That is Stuart Ting, yes, unfortunately.
Getting some positive feedback. I think it might be there, actually. Getting some positive feedback on the socials there.
Rachel Thomas is the other umpire. Well done. Thank you, Helen Hawkins, for that.
It's ricocheted back to Rebecca Rounds.
She's out of court, unfortunately.
Have to be over the line or on the line is out as well.
It's one of those questions I hope you wouldn't ask me. I think it's if you touch the line, you're out.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that.
Seems like that.
If there's an umpire listening, let me
Get that
know.
fixed up. Yep.
Yeah. Just know our coach tell my players don't go near the line, so
Yeah,
I'm not sure
stay
if it's
away.
over. I think it's if you touch the line, you're out.
The line is lava, sort of thing.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we've been stuck on 26-20 for the best part of 5.5 minutes. And the
Oh
ball's
my goodness, mate, that's a head clash.
That's a HIA. We're going to have to call time here. So the wing defence.
Oh, she's up quickly. And the goal attack for the Wildcats it was.
I think that is Josephine Bingham, and the wing defence is Maya Thomas. I mentioned before she's been down a lot.
Tell you what, considering how big of a collision that was, that is a very minor disturbance to the game.
Here it is again in the replay. Oh, they were both going for the ball. Both had eyes for the ball. Looked like it was forehead on forehead.
What do we do in terms of a restart here?
I guess whoever had the ball when the whistle was called for the time.
So I think it's the
take
Northern Rays.
It looks like it is with the goal defence. So I'm not sure what the concussion protocols are with the netball.
Oh, they've both stayed on, haven't they? So
They have indeed. So maybe it looked worse than what it was.
no concussion substitute needed.
So there you go. We've been corrected. Leanne Quilter, men's
What's she got for us?
umpire coordinator, runs our
On the
umpires
line is
for men's.
okay.
On the line is okay. And then Lisa McGrath has got on there too. In fact, several people are totally.
The line.
And
Jeez,
Cara
Dave,
Winnebaum,
I'm sorry
she's-
for asking you that question. You
Yeah,
are copping a battering here.
I've had a good run. This will be my
Well, I
last
mean-
game. Thanks, brother. So I'll be fired tonight. Cara Winnebaum, one of our better umpires.
a great learning
She
experience.
umpires in this league, and she's filling us in as well. So
Well, she was
rule
on
of thumb,
the,
brother.
on the
if,
line
if you're
there.
coaching, Brody, just tell your players to stay away from the line.
Don't go near the lines.
You
She's
shouldn't do
obviously
lines.
over the line there.
Shouldn't do lines in life, and you shouldn't do lines in netball.
That's
There you
great.
go.
Let's get that on a
So,
mug as
there
well.
you go.
That's very good career advice.
So the ball back with Wildcats.
Had cut the margin here too. The race to 5.
And we finally got a goal, the 21st. We've been waiting a while. Will this be the 27th for the Wildcats at will? So it's raining goals now after a bit of a
that's right.
drought.
Exactly. So just that ability to get it back out of the circle and then back in really, really quickly to just try and get yourself close as the goal.
The refeeding is very important. You don't see it a lot in elite netball because the girls are taught to turn and shoot.
Okay.
And because they're usually 90% shooters, it's a fairly not a bad tactic. As you come down in levels, you want to be as close as you can to the hoop, obviously. So the closer you are, the
So
greater
at
the
a higher
percentage.
level, you're happy to take shots from anywhere, basically, as soon as you get it.
Most of the absolute elite coaches, and the ones we're looking at here, would tell their players to turn and shoot. If they're particularly at the Suncorp Super Netball level, they're pretty much it's very rare to see a refeed, and particularly now with a 2-point shot. So they're taught to just turn and shoot.
Okay.
So
2-point shot.
break. Yeah, there's a 2-point shot in Suncorp Super Netball. So the ball back with Wildcats with their breaking call, the old coach killer. The margin was 5.
I was actually watching like a Fast 5 netball series a little while ago where they had like 3 levels of scoring.
Yeah, don't do that. That's bad for your health. that's a whole new. That's a whole new list of rules.
The pure netball.
This is not the place to
They
talk about that.
just would hate it. Yeah,
If ever we
okay.
do a fast 5 comp, we'll chat about that.
No, don't do it.
And the ball is with nice play here from the Rays. Oh, body position incorrect there by the goal attack. She was turned into a defence. If she set herself the other way, it would have been a nice, easy pass. And a long shot misses. That's a shame. Would have got the margin to 4. But again,
So
another
that's a
turnover.
turnover.
They say possession's 9/10 of the law, and unfortunately, both teams a bit loose with it. And the great positioning again by Rounds. She positions herself absolutely beautifully.
Well, that's
goal attack
cut the
takes a
margin
shot.
to 4.
Margin is 4. They're winning the quarter by 1.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the closest margin we've seen probably since like the halfway mark in the first quarter as well.
absolutely, when they went on a bit of a run there, the Wildcats. So, contact call here. It'll be pass a shot at the top of the circle.
How do they decide when you play advantage or not, like in that situation?
I'll leave that to the umpires
Yeah,
that
we'll
have
get some
commented.
feedback on that
it's
too. Okay.
it's an instant thing too. Sometimes the umpires, they know they should have called advantage, but they just blame the whistle because they've seen something. But yeah, that's tough, man. Like, that is so tough because they might think there's an advantage. You as a player don't think there's an advantage, and that is one of the toughest things to call.
Tell you what, the third quarter I've asked you two absolute doozies, apparently.
You really have. You're really trying to get me sacked.
Yeah, I apologise for that. They're to have like a grading system, and we'll have the questions written down.
We only got together at the start of the week, so it's our first time together. Tomorrow we've got 3 games together.
We'll be sorted by then.
We'll do better. Yeah. So the ball back with the Wildcats. They're on a bit of a run here. They lead by 6. So.
Well, just after we talked about them cutting the margin to 4, the Rays as well. So it's a real momentum game, isn't it? I know that's probably a massive cliche, but you can just see how the game sort of ebbs and flows between who seems to be dominating at certain times.
Absolutely.
Is that fair?
Stating the obvious there, my friend, but yes. So the ball goes through the hoop. Margin 7, 1:30 to play. This is a crucial time for the Rays.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know exactly
Northern Rays, like 2 minutes ago, we're going, geez, singing their praises. They're cutting the margin. And then how quickly it turns. You're right, that is obvious. Actually, I'll wind that up. Let's go next point.
I still think they're doing a great job, the Rays. Like, you've got to remember, these guys have the most difficult training environment of all. And you can tell they've got a great coach in Vicky Wilson there. Great pass into the circle. And Rounds makes no mistakes. He gets another one. If they could get one more turnover and a goal before the break and take it in 5, you'd almost back them with the home crowd.
The crowd's starting to get a little bit more vocal too, aren't they? You can do that, and the effects mic.
That'd be probably the corporate box people.
Absolutely.
So the Mizuno Zentum shift there broke the swing of 3 for the Wildcats.
Oh, that's what
every time there's a 3 break, you'll get or 3 or more, you'll get the Mizuno momentum shift.
That's why what I was saying was so obvious, I guess.
Absolutely.
Right,
Let it go. So the margin back to 7. Wildcats
learning on the run.
31-34. I have to agree with Tara Nadella, who says we should have more water. So,
thank you, Tara. Tara has just become my favourite viewer.
Absolutely, and we've got many thousand watching. So we go worldwide, and of course you can join us through the Heart Sapphire Series Facebook page.
A couple of people tuning in from Scotland.
Indeed, the Mulherron family. They'd be obviously watching their family member. I don't know what the relationship is. Their family member, who lives out here now, but has represented Scotland many times. So it's a big effort to play in 3 World Cups in any sport.
What have we seen here? There's a
turnover there. It looks like it's I'm not sure what the call was. Contact call, she's out of play, yep. We're inside the last minute, and the ball with the Wildcats, with the Rays. Wildcats trying to deliberately, I'd say, try and waste time, and it's worked. So they don't get an opportunity. So the margin's back to 7. That was a 10-8 quarter.
So the Wildcats win that quarter.
10-8 to the Wildcats, so they pick up 2 competition points for that quarter.
Remembering at one point they had cut the margin to 4 there too, so the Wildcats winning that last couple of minutes substantially.
Well, the Wildcats had it back to 4 with about 3:30 to play, and we were talking about maybe they could steal another quarter, would be their second for the game, and things were looking positive for them, but just a few loose turnovers there and a bit of contact play has given the Wildcats the jump, and they're lucky enough to be leading by 7. What do you think, my friend? Can the Rays come back? Margin 7, you've seen both teams. It looks like there's a change happening here to the Wildcats. There's some bib swapping going on.
Exactly. Keep your eye on that.
Yeah. So, looks like, is it Bingham coming on? Blacker coming on? We'll soon see. We'll let you know with Bingham. Yeah, so what do you think? Do you think the Rays can come back? Like, you've watched 3 quarters of netball now in your life, so...
Exactly. Well, to me, I think that every time that they've been challenged, the Wildcats, that every time, the sort of, I guess, it's been thrown down at them, they've always found an answer and found a way to come back. So I feel like it is going to be difficult now with the margin still 7 for Northern Rays to get that much momentum that they can slip past them. That's how it looks to me, that the Wildcats have always got the answer, always the ability to, whenever there's a charge mounted, they can shut it down. But what do you think of that?
Look, home court advantage is a big thing. It depends on, I've got no idea what their fitness levels are like or anything like that.
Well, you spoke to the coaches this morning, surely some intel.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that the team's unfit.
My team's unfit. Good point.
Yeah. Yeah, we're really not very good at the beep test. Yeah, so I didn't get any of that sort of stuff. But both coaches were very confident, both talking up about the youngness of their team and how it's developmentally, and they're really encouraged by what they've seen thus far. And Wildcats, purely because of Baird, Mulherron, Brittany Mould and Bingham, have probably got that little bit more experience, and you'd expect them in the big moments to probably make the better decisions. But, netball's a funny game. Look, Vicky there, she's very passionate about it.
She's right into
really
it.
Getting into the team. Not in a negative way, but really sort of talking them up. And, I question, I don't know this, I wasn't around in 2019, but I don't know if they've ever been this close at three-quarter time for this club. This could be a whole new thing for them. Like, we know this is the first time they've won a quarter. And, so this is pretty exciting. All goes well for the season for the Rays.
The great thing is that they're absolutely, we've seen that they're well and truly in the contest, aren't they? It's
Absolutely.
certainly not three-quarter time where you're sort of having those speeches just going, let's try and finish well, let's try and get something out of the game. It's game on massively.
Absolutely it is. And don't forget, this is just one of 4 games. We're doing 4 games each weekend now. And tomorrow we're at the Moray Field Sports and Events Centre. Pitch is brought to you by Double Take Sports. And from 1 o'clock, we'll be on air from about 5 to 1. 5 minutes to the hour of each game we'll be on air. Jets versus Bull Sharks. That's second versus third from last year. Second versus fifth from last year. That'll be a pretty good game. Tigers, they had a bad year last year. They've had a bit of a rebuild, but they've got some great shooters. They're taking on the Thunder. I'm looking forward to that match. Thunder, they were unlucky not to make the final. And then, of course, the big one, match of the round, QT Netball taking on the Cougars from 5 through our new arrangement with News Corp.
Yeah,
So
might go over that one more time.
we will
right at the end of the
indeed.
game.
At the end of the game, we'll tell you how you can watch that game. So, and this shot there. And looks like the shooters change for the.
Yeah, we need to get on top of these, don't we?
I'd say that's Blackall has come on.
Blackler?
Hannah Blackler, that's correct. I think she's at goal shooter now.
Okay.
Looks like a nice tall lass. So put a bit of height in the circle. And
Is it Gregory Johnson that's gone to goal attack?
she's moved out. And looks like there's a contested ball there. It's possession call. It's going to go the way of the Wildcats. Unlucky for the Rays. Both teams have still got their timeout to use. So Baird still in centre. I'm sure our viewers, if they see a change we haven't called, will let us know.
Yeah.
And we've really stirred up the hornet's nest with the umpires. Lisa McGrath has come back with, if
She's
it doesn't
quite
interfere
helpful,
with
though.
the play, it's advantage as a player can still pass the ball.
Okay. Well, that
There you
makes
go.
sense.
It
Yeah,
does.
Yeah, that's very well worded.
So we had an umpire on the commentary team last year. It was very handy. So
Yeah, sorry about that.
that's not what I meant. Don't take offence. So great effort here from the keeper.
Wildcats are on a real run here. They've extended the lead to 9 and now 10.
Yeah, rule of 11 kicking
I know.
in.
Well,
I
it's about to- I didn't want to mention it again, but it is the last quarter now. It's starting to get in play.
It is indeed. So, considering with 3:30 to go in the third, they had it to 4. It's now 10, and we've just played 2 in the third, 2 minutes in the last.
Do you put that down to just the Wildcats just changing gears and going up a
Well,
level?
they've made some changes, and that's probably helped them like freshen up the play and that sort of stuff. So, and Mulherron at the back, she's a tough nut. She can really get teams going. So, and I think that's
Bella.
looks like Rennie's at GD.
Rennie.
Yeah, indeed it is. So the Rays get one back. Margin is 9. There's a
Turnover
Mizuno
now.
momentum shift.
Yeah.
And a turnover here. This could get it to 8. They're sending next 7. They're alive. But they need to be almost perfect for the rest of the game. And ball falls to them. They're looking for... Oh, should have probably gone into rounds. She was well positioned.
See it.
Loose bounce pass. It's loose on the ground, but it's going to be a Wildcats ball. Probably, this is what I'm talking about, experience. Probably took the wrong option there. The shooter was open.
You could actually see Rounds pointing to where she
Yeah.
wanted the ball.
And that'll come over time. Like, you've got the best shooter in the history of the sport almost as your coach. You assume they're going to work out their offensive stuff pretty quickly.
Absolutely. Another turnover here. So the Northern Rays, the last couple of defensive moments have been very impressive.
So the Rays
Just
go
when you get on
long.
the back, that's a nice pass.
maintained a balance well on one leg, the other one heavily strapped. This is a big shot here. And, just misses and can't get the rebound. So, these are the little moments the Rays have got to grab. It's like anything in sport. You can seize the moment or you cannot seize the moment.
You sort of have to be perfect when you trail by this margin.
Yeah, because pretty soon they'll be playing the old catch-up netball.
That's right. So that's
where
when
you can get blow out.
Try to get very ambitious with some of your passes.
You start going long. Yeah. Like, what have we got here? 9 with 11 to play, so it's almost danger time. And Hannah makes no mistake.
Liliana Rennie has gone to
GD.
Yep,
she has indeed. So the ball's still with the Rays. A bit loose in the circle at the moment. It's a great hold here by Rounds. She wants the ball. She's double teamed. She wants it. And there it goes. That's a great setup by her. Unfortunately, hit the front of the ring, but gets a second chance.
Got it back.
And scores.
Cuts the margin to 9.
What are you thinking, big fella? Can they do it? Or will the Wildcats hang on?
The Wildcats look pretty impressive here. Zipping it round.
Mate, you'll be 1 from 1 in the tipping.
I tipped him at the start, didn't I?
Yeah, very impressive.
Really stayed strong.
We'll give you a week to get your bearings, and then you'll start giving us margins as well.
Yeah, okay. No, that's fair.
There's only 4 games.
It would have been hard to pick the margin here.
It was, with 2 unknowns, like a brand new team. They've lost 9 players from last year, the Wildcats, and then a team that we haven't seen for 2 years. So some foundation players are still in this team, which is amazing. So,
but you've been reasonably happy with what you've seen from the Northern Rays, based on.
I think I saw them play once in 2019.
Yeah.
And you could tell they were a developmental club. They've improved our side. So I'm not sure what netball they did last year with COVID. They were probably all playing locally. Obviously, there's Kiwi International and stuff like that in their team, and you know that's they weren't playing there. But you know, so it's been a big turnaround for them. Like this is a club that's going places. So
absolutely.
And again,
who's got a wing attack for the Wildcats here? You don't know. No, fair enough.
So I'll just have a look at the back of the shirt.
Yeah, I'm trying to get close enough to. We'll work it out at some stage by the end of the game.
I think it's Donnelly, isn't it? So.
I thought they'd changed that.
So, excellent. So the ball back with the Rays. They've got a chance here. They're back to 8. This will make it 7. Easy play in a round. Mulherron takes out the post. I pity the post. And a great shot there from Rennie.
It's a bit unlucky. Got it into the post and then it fell back in the lap of.
Margin back to 7. And we've got a turnover here. Incorrect centre pass.
Go. This is huge.
8:30 to play. Margin is 7, possibly 6 after this. It was 7 at three-quarter time.
Just feel like this is a reasonably big moment for the Northern Rays here, just to cut this margin. One more goal.
So,
it will be Rounds to have the shot.
Indeed she is. This is a huge shot. She wants to pass off and does.
Okay.
She's pretty close. And Bella Rennie is lit up in
She's
the
running hot, isn't she? Last quarter.
Last quarter. She's got the ball now. Looks in, finds a wing defence. Goal defence, sorry. Down the court it goes. Looks in long, double team. No. Loose pass. There's a rule of netball. You don't throw to a double team. And just when they could have got it back to 5 and be leading the quarter by 2, they throw it away. Just a bit of an inexperience there from the young lass. And a turnover again. A drop ball here from the Wildcats.
It looks a difficult pass from sort of, I guess, from watching this point of view, that sort of lob over into that backspace that you were talking about. It looks...
Depends where the release is. If you throw it from up high, replay. Ooh, I thought he was going to call the replay there. That was, in my opinion, a replay. That's what I was talking about before, when you got possession, drop it and pick it up again.
Yeah, exactly.
So, umpire didn't see it the way I did, which is good.
Yep. So this one here.
See, that came from the hip, so that was always going to be a contest. The ball has to be released from high and drop into the backspace. So
that defender's just trying to hold the space in front of the player there and then get up and make sure that it can't get over the top of their head, really, aren't
Absolutely. So the idea is that the shooter holds when you coach, you put the hold on, the shooter puts a hold on the defender, and when the ball's above the shooter's head, that's when they move into the backspace. But invariably, shooters go early, and unfortunately, then that's when the turnover occurs. So the Wildcats look like they've answered the challenge of the Rays with 6.5 to play. This will make it 8, and it does.
They moved it really quickly from the centre pass there to go back-to-back in the space of 20 seconds there.
At 7.5, they had a chance to make it just 5, and they couldn't do it. We're out to 7.
Again, some impressive signs for the Rays, though.
Absolutely.
Final quarter.
And they keep coming back. It's just, a few bad decisions at crucial times. And that'll be something they'll talk about. And, as they get experience, like we've just put, 10 games into their legs, and next week it'll be another 10 games of experience and another 10 games and so on. And eventually those decisions won't be bad decisions, they'll be good decisions. And, they'll probably give some teams some scares.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the ball with the Wildcats.
Margin back to 6.
Turnover here would be handy. A lot of composure being shown. Great feed, and that's a great setup there by Blacker. And she's come on and made an impact. Came on at 3/4 time, Hannah Blacker, and looked very impressive. And we've got
What's this one?
a timeout here.
Timeout.
That's a caution being displayed to the
Wildcats
looked like the Wildcats goal attack, maybe for persistent breaking.
Okay.
And now Stewart's advanced it to the transverse line. So the umpire on the far side can only take it to halfway, and then Stewart's increased the penalty by taking it to the transverse line.
Okay.
So because you can only do what penalise in your own half.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So unfortunately though, the Rays turn it straight back over. So probably won't have any impact on the Wildcats or the outcome. And again, nice effort there. And Blacker does well. She moves the cervical nicely. And margin is now 8.
Starting to get into quite difficult territory.
It's danger time, if it isn't already. But that's a turnover. Came off Wildcats last.
Yeah.
Hannah Blacker got a fingertip on it. They basically need to go on a 9-0 run in the last 4:32. Hard to do, but possible.
Good movement.
Starts with 1.
Yeah.
So pausing. You can see Round setting herself up nicely, but they are double teaming her. That's when the goal attack has to come in ball side, and wasn't ready for that at all.
I think she just had to throw that pass completely off balance too.
She did indeed, and Round's unable to pull it in, and the long ball in.
Oh, that's a good pass.
That is indeed. So Bingham, who's been pretty impressive today, scores another one, and that's probably all she wrote. Margin of 9 with 4 to go, and they're winning this quarter by 2.
So that's I guess that's a good thing about this scoring system, is it means that there's still plenty to play for even in the last couple of minutes of what would otherwise be a dead contest, I guess.
It's a funny table. Like you can look at it, you can lose your first 2 games and you can be like 36 points behind.
Yeah.
And then you go on a 3-game run and all of a sudden you're leading the comp by half a dozen points. So it's because there's big points on offer. It's the table chops and turns a little bit. So. Like halfway through last season, it looked like it was a 2-horse race, and then all of a sudden towards the end, it just clogged up. A couple of wins here and there, and for different teams, and it clogged up. There's another Mizuno momentum shift. Margin back to 9. Wildcats probably just doing enough to win this one. So something I didn't tell you, brother, you've got to do a unofficial player of the game.
Do I really?
Yeah, just it means nothing. No one gets any trophies or anything.
That still makes me quite nervous, to be honest.
So...
Well, no,
I'll make all my co-commentators do that.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's some. I think there's a player that I've called a lot.
Is it Josephine Bitten?
It is.
Oh, look at that. You called it early. I thought you might. She's had a great game.
Yeah.
She's been one of the best for the Wildcats. I've liked Mulherron. She's been really tough as teeth.
You strike me as someone who'd be more about sort of that defensive, the underrated hard work goes on.
Wait till we do the Jets. There's a player in there I'm a big fan of, and I always call it underrated, and I'll call it that tomorrow.
Okay.
So, yeah. So,
yeah, so I mean, because I've just gone the easy option, having on the person that's shot the most goals. I mean, she's had a great game.
She's had a great game. She's been solid, but, like they've all
You're trying to recognise.
They've all played pretty well.
Absolutely.
It's just probably the hardest player to stop for the Rays is Rounds, and so therefore I probably thought, Mulherron's done a pretty good job on her. They've kept him to 32 goals, which is 8 a quarter. That's good. Like your goal as a coach is to try and get 15 out of your team, 15 a quarter. So anything in the 60s, you tend to win the game if you're scoring 60 or more.
Yeah.
So that's always your goal. And yeah, as a result, to keep him to 32 when she's obviously a great shooter and an easy target, so that's pretty good.
So when all teams are sort of up and running,
Yep.
would you be expecting this to be higher scoring, these contests, than what this one tonight has been?
Just take the Jets and Cougars were sort of the benchmark teams last year, and their results were usually in the 50s, not quite the 60s, but they're usually around the mid 50s to like might be 55, 52, that sort of score. So I'd like to see a little bit more because I like offense, but it's just they've got the best defense and the best offense. Those two teams on last year. Like I'm not saying that's going to be the case this year. And yeah, as a result, that's sort of that's a good game. Mid 50s, 60s each way is a good game. So.
I think the Wildcats within the first, the third and the fourth quarter, this is the sort of moment that they've owned, these last couple of minutes heading into quarter time. You can see that the Rays have come at them in every quarter, challenged them, and then they've been able to kick away in those last couple of minutes, which, I mean, you mentioned sort of the fitness thing, you mentioned the training conditions that the Rays have also had to deal with.
That's right, and that's exactly what you're saying. Like we got no idea how many games they've played or how many games are in their legs, how many miles they run. We know nothing like that. But yeah, it's the first game of the season, and yeah, this is a great yardstick to see where both teams are, and we'll work out where they are fitness-wise. And I can guarantee you, Vicky's sitting there now, probably writing notes down for next week's training, and they'll get better as each one goes on. That was a sensational effort there by your girl Bingham.
That's just
kept that ball alive when for all money it was going out, and can she finish it with the shot? Boom chugga-lugga, she can't, but looks like Blackwell will, and she does.
It's very impressive. That skill has been most impressive, the ability to keep the ball in when it looks for all money like it's going out, and then still being able to find one of your players when it goes back in.
They're running away with it here. The margin's out to 14, and it really probably doesn't reflect how they've played the Rays, and it's a shame. So there's 15 in that quarter, and to 8. That's a 15-8 quarter, and final margin of 46-32. So a little bit disappointing the last few minutes there for the Rays, considering at 7.5 minutes to go they had a chance to make it just 4. They really did fade away in the last quarter, and the experience of the Wildcats, which we talked about pretty much all through the whole game, they just got them in the end, yeah. So that's the full-time result, 46-32. The Wildcats probably too strong, too experienced for the Northern Rays, but it was a pretty entertaining game.
Absolutely.
And the big news to come out of it, the Rays have won their first quarter in the history of their club, so that's a massive thing, and we were really, really quite impressed by that. So as we've said, we've got plenty of games coming up for you. We've got 3 tomorrow.
Tickets still available for those?
There are tickets still available. It's quite a big complex up there, so there'll be get your backside courtside for that one, and of course we start at 1, Jets v Bull Sharks. From 3 we've got Tigers v Thunder, and then the match of the round, and you're just going to go over how we can watch the match of the round.
Yeah, absolutely. So the blockbuster match of the round, it can be viewed by subscription on the Courier Mail website at 6 p.m. with the newcomers to the competition, QUT Netball taking on the defending champs, the Brisbane North Cougars. What a battle that will be. It'll be a battle not to be missed, in fact, so jump on the Courier Mail website and get your subscription. The current offer is $5 per month with a minimum 3 months, so that's $15 for the entire season. And you get the added benefit of being up to date with full access to the Courier Mail's premium news platform. Of course, all of these matches are being played out at Moray Field Sports and Events Centre. There's still tickets left, so if you are keen for a day at the netball, what a day it will be. Purchase your tickets online at www.sapphireseries.com.au and get down to support your favourite team.
Absolutely, and we will be there tomorrow from just before 1 o'clock. So, buddy, going back to this match, your best is Josephine Bingham. You're pretty impressed by her.
That's correct.
Anyone from the Rays stand out for you?
Well, I mean, Rebecca Rounds, as we spoke about, I was quite impressed as well with just the zippiness of the centre. Eden Cassidy took a couple of spills and was up and in the contest all the time and doing plenty of her work rate was very impressive for mine.
She got replaced out of the game, but yeah, while she was on there, she was very, very impressive. I was a big fan of Maya Thomas, took a massive hit, clashed heads with one of the players from the Wildcats, still didn't seem to affect her. But yeah, for me, it was probably slightly different. I was looking at Hayley Mulherron, I thought had a crackerjack of a match against a player that obviously is a very solid shooter and a great target for the team. But a lot of positives there for the Rays. There's an opportunity here, and they couldn't quite grab it with 2 hands, but they played extremely well, and they'll take a lot of confidence out of that. They can see the team photo happening there in the background, so that's a great start for their season, even though they didn't get the result. So, tomorrow you're joining me again? out from Morayfield, yeah?
I'll be out there.
Excellent. So thank you for watching this game. This is the only one we have for today. We're looking forward to bringing 3 more tomorrow. My name's Dave Mills. I've been joined in commentary by Lee Drennan. We'll be back tomorrow. And as always, be brilliant.